Hey everyone, and welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something important, those first crucial steps into a tech career.
Yeah, we've dug into some expert advice for people just starting out.
Right. And our mission really is to pull out the absolute must-knows. The stuff that actually matters when you're fresh out of education or heading into that first role.
Think of it kind of like your shortcut guide. If you're prepping for placements, starting an internship, or just figuring out that whole path from student to tech pro,
Yeah.
well, this is for you. We want to bring some clarity.
Okay, so let's kick off with a bit of a reality check. Because you spend years in college, right?
Mm,
Learning C, maybe Java, definitely data structures and algorithms. You grind, hacker rank, LeetCode.
yeah, building those core skills.
Exactly. You feel ready, but then you land in a real tech job, and sometimes it feels like a completely different planet.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
That expectation gap is it's real, and it catches a lot of freshers off guard. Well, in college, the focus is heavily on concepts. The theory, the logic behind algorithms, the fundamentals of programming.
Right.
But the professional world, it runs on specific tools, team dynamics, and established systems. Suddenly you're hearing about agile sprints.
Which are like short bursts of focused work.
Exactly. And daily stand-ups, these quick morning meetings where everyone syncs up. It's all about structured collaboration.
And the tools. Suddenly it's Git and GitHub everywhere, which, are for version control, managing code changes with a team.
Non-negotiable skills, really.
Yeah.
And then you hit merge conflicts,
Oh, yeah, fun times. When your code clashes with someone else's.
right? And then there's the cloud, AWS, Azure, these huge platforms where everything actually runs.
Plus things like Jira tickets for tracking tasks, Docker containers for packaging apps.
Yep, Docker makes sure your code runs the same way everywhere.
Yeah.
And REST APIs, that's how different software pieces talk to each other.
And that dreaded phrase, debugging a production issue.
Yeah. Fixing something broken that real users are seeing right now. It's a different kind of pressure.
So understanding that difference between college theory and real-world practice, that's key.
It's huge. Knowing that gap exists early on saves so much confusion. It helps you realize it's not just about code logic. It's about the whole system, the tools, the teamwork.
Okay, so given that reality check, what should freshers actually focus on, like right now, to get ahead?
Right. We've got to boil it down to 5 critical skills, things to prioritize immediately.
Lay them on us. What's number one?
Git and GitHub. We mentioned it, but seriously, you have to know this. Push, pull, branching, merging.
And dealing with those merge conflicts gracefully, it shows you understand how teams work together on code.
Exactly. It signals you get collaborative workflows. Okay, number 2, cloud basics.
So like AWS or Azure.
Yeah, even just the fundamentals, understanding something like AWS S3 for storage or EC2 for virtual servers, it just gives you a massive advantage. Shows you get how modern apps are deployed.
Makes sense. What's third?
Don't ditch that LeetCode style problem solving just yet.
Ah, interesting. So it's not just for interviews.
Well, it's crucial for interviews, yes, but the thinking process, breaking down complex problems, that's invaluable for debugging real-world issues later on. It trains your logical thinking for complex systems.
Gotcha. Okay, number 4.
System design basics. You don't need to be an architect, but having a high-level grasp of how applications scale.
Meaning how they handle more users or data.
Precisely. It shows you're thinking bigger than just your piece of code, how it fits into the larger system.
And the 5th skill.
Communication tools. Familiarity with things like Slack for team chat, Jira for tracking tasks and bugs, maybe Notion for documentation.
So knowing the tools the team actually uses day to day.
Yeah, it means you can plug in much faster, you understand the workflow, you're part of the conversation from the start. These 5 aren't just abstract concepts, they're the practical building blocks for working effectively in a tech team.
Right, they're about applied knowledge that makes you useful from day one.
Exactly, it sets you apart.
Okay, so we know the skills, but let's talk about actually landing that first job. You mentioned it's not always about grades. What does work?
Yeah, grades matter, sure. But what really moves the needle is proof. Real, visible proof you can build something or solve a problem.
So like projects.
Definitely. Building open source projects, contributing to other people's stuff on GitHub, working on your own personal side projects.
What about internships?
Internships are huge,
Yeah.
using platforms like LinkedIn or AngelList to find them. And of course, having a resume that actually tells your story effectively. The common thread is showing, not just telling.
Showing you can do the work.
Exactly. Which brings up a good point. How do you choose between, say, an internship, maybe some freelance work, or just focusing on personal projects?
Right. They all seem valuable.
They are, but in different ways.
Yeah.
Internships are fantastic for learning teamwork, using industry tools, seeing how a real company operates.
Getting that structured experience.
Right. Freelancing, though, that gives you client exposure. You learn about deadlines, communication, managing expectations, different pressures,
And personal projects.
total creative freedom. You build what you want, learn the tech you're interested in, end to end.
So is one better than the others?
Well, here's a pro tip, something often overlooked.
Yeah.
Try to combine them. Aim for, say, one good internship, maybe one freelance gig, and one solid personal project you're proud of.
Ah, the trifecta.
Yeah, exactly. That trifecta shows incredible initiative, diverse skills, and real passion. It's a powerful combination.
Okay, let's drill down on those projects. If you want to stand out, what are some concrete examples? What kind of things should you build?
Good question. Well, a portfolio website is almost a must. Shows off design, front-end skills. It's your online billboard.
Makes sense. What else?
Maybe a to-do app using React. It's common, yeah, but it clearly shows you understand UI, state management, basic web app logic,
Practical.
or a Python automation script.
Yeah.
Something simple, like organizing files or automating emails. Shows practical problem solving.
I like that. Anything else?
A weather app that pulls data from a public API shows you can work with external services. Or maybe a simple REST API using something like Node.js and Express demonstrates back-end understanding.
Okay. And maybe something using newer tech.
Sure, like a basic chatbot using OpenAI's API. Shows you're exploring current trends like AI.
The crucial part, though, isn't just building these, right?
Absolutely not. You have to put the code on GitHub. Make it public.
Let people see your work.
Yes, and even better, deploy the project. Use platforms like Netlify or Vercel. Many have free tiers. Make it live so anyone can click a link and see it working.
That makes it so much more real than just code on a page.
Exactly. It's tangible proof. And, building these things also helps you figure out what area of tech actually excites you.
Right, finding your niche, like front end, back end.
Or mobile app development, DevOps, which is all about automating software delivery, data science, AML, cybersecurity. There are so many paths.
So explore through building.
Yes. Build a few different types of projects, see what clicks. Finding something you're genuinely passionate about is key for a long career. It's not just about proving skills, it's self-discovery too.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Networking. This can feel daunting, especially maybe if you're more introverted. Any advice there?
Yeah, that's a common concern. But here's the thing. Networking in tech doesn't always mean being a social butterfly at conferences.
Right.
It's more about being consistently visible and engaged online. Be active on LinkedIn. Share what you're learning. Show your projects.
Okay, that seems manageable.
Join relevant Discord or Telegram groups. Attend virtual meetups or webinars. There are tons. Follow developers you admire on Twitter or X or whatever platform.
And not just follow, but interact.
Exactly. Comment thoughtfully, like
Yeah.
share interesting stuff. It's about contributing to the conversation, not being the loudest person in the room. Just be present and consistent.
That makes sense. And alongside networking, what about learning resources? Things seem to change so fast.
Oh, the resources available now are incredible. And so many are free. There's really no excuse not to be constantly learning.
Like what? Where should people look?
Well, there's freecodecamp.org, great for web dev, JavaScript, APIs. Harvard's CS50 amazing foundational computer science course, online, free.
Wow, Harvard's course for free.
Yep. Geeks for Geeks is fantastic for data structures, algorithms, specific languages like Java. Platforms like Coursera and edX often let you audit courses for free.
Yeah.
You don't get the certificate, but you get the knowledge.
Okay, lots of options. What about video?
YouTube is a goldmine. Channels like Programming with Mosh, Tech with Tim, Web Dev Simplified, Appna College, tons of high-quality tutorials and explanations, totally free.
That's huge. Okay,
Yeah.
and what about tools that can help you learn faster or be more productive, especially when you're starting out?
Yes. AI tools are becoming really useful here. They can seriously speed things up and cut down frustration.
Like ChatGPT.
Definitely. Use it to explain code you don't understand, brainstorm project ideas, even practice for interviews.
What else?
GitHub Copilot. It's like an AI pair programmer. Auto-completing your code can be a huge time saver.
I've heard about that.
Notion is great for organizing notes, managing tasks, planning projects. Replit lets you code and run stuff instantly in your browser, no complicated setup needed.
Nice. Removes friction.
And don't forget VS Code extensions. Things like Prettier for auto-formatting code. ESLint to catch errors, Live Server for instantly seeing web changes, GitLens for better Git insights. They streamline your workflow.
So these tools are amplifiers.
Exactly. They amplify your learning, your productivity, but, and this is important, they don't replace thinking.
Right. You still need to understand the fundamentals.
Absolutely. Use them to enhance your abilities, not as a crutch, but combining smart networking, these amazing free resources, and these powerful AI tools. That's a recipe for accelerating your career. It's about working smarter.
Okay, so you've built skills, maybe done some projects, started networking. Now, how do you package all that? Your resume, your LinkedIn profile, how do you make them stand out?
Right, because you're essentially building your professional brand.
Your brand. Okay, so resume first. Any key tips?
Keep it concise, one page, ideally. Recruiters don't have much time.
One page. Got it.
Include links,
Yep.
live links to your deployed projects, a link to your GitHub profile. Make it easy for them to see your work.
And be honest, right? No fake experience.
Absolutely critical. Don't invent stuff. Authenticity matters. It will come out eventually.
Okay. And LinkedIn, how do you optimize that?
Get a clean, professional photo. It makes a difference. Write an about section that's friendly but professional. Show some personality. State your interests.
And be active there too.
Yes. Regularly share what you're learning, updates on your projects, maybe interesting articles you've read. Show you're engaged and passionate. It's not just a static profile.
So it comes back to that idea you're not just listing facts.
You're building a brand. You're telling a story about who you are as a tech professional.
Why is that brand idea so important in tech specifically?
Well, it's a competitive field, right? A strong online presence, a clear brand. It differentiates you. It shows initiative before anyone even talks to you. It signals you're current, engaged, and serious about your craft. It can open doors that a simple resume might not.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about showcasing your value proactively.
Exactly.
Okay, well, this has been incredibly insightful. Maybe let's wrap up. If there's one final reminder for someone listening, feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed by all this, what would it be?
I think the most important thing is you don't have to know everything right now.
Right. It's okay not to have all the answers on day one.
Absolutely. Nobody expects perfection from a fresher. The key is persistence. Stay curious. Be open to learning constantly.
Yeah.
If you have that mindset, you're already halfway there.
Keep moving forward.
Just keep moving forward. And maybe a final thought to chew on.
Yeah.
Given how fast technology changes, the real superpower isn't mastering one specific language or tool today. It's building the ability to learn and adapt tomorrow.
Ah, so it's about lifelong learning.
It really is.
Yeah.
Embracing that constant evolution, seeing it as an opportunity, not a threat. That's where the real excitement and potential lies. In a tech career, it's this continuous journey of building on what you know.
That's a great way to look at it. Well, thank you so much for sharing all these insights.
My pleasure.
And thank you all for joining us on this deep dive. Hopefully this gives you some clear actions and maybe a bit more confidence as you start your tech journey. Stay curious, keep building, and we'll catch you next time.